When graphing f, the first thing I'm going to do is look at endpoint behavior, or look at what's happening out at infinity. So I notice that the degree of both the numerator and denominator is the same. So using a limit, as f of x goes to plus and minus infinity, we can see that the value of the ratio of the exponent powers is equal to 2. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to draw in my horizontal asymptote at y equals 2. And then we're going to factor this. So factoring this does two things. First of all, allows us to see if there's any factors that cancel. Secondly, it gives me zeros. So I can see I have zeros at x equals positive 5 and positive 1/2. It also tells me where my asymptotes are. So it looks like I have asymptotes at 3 and negative 3. Okay, so I'm just going to draw these in. I got negative 3. It's going to be my vertical asymptote. I put in here a 0 value so I can calculate a y-intercept. So when I plug in x is 0, I get negative 5 over 9. I've got a 0 at 1/2. I've got a vertical asymptote at 3. And I've got another 0 at x equals 5. Okay, so I have some coordinates here, and I can kind of see that I've got an asymptote, a point somewhere around here. Okay, so I've got all these parts. I can probably determine what this graph looks like based on the asymptotes. I can see that it's probably going to go through, follow that, so go through that point, go through this 0, and then it's going to follow that asymptote. Okay, now typically when it goes up on one side, it's going to go down on the other. So it's going to come from down here, and then it's going to follow that asymptote horizontally like that. And what ends up happening is we end up having the same thing happening from this side. Okay, and if we want more detail, we can just plug in a few more coordinates. But this is basically the shape we're looking for. We're looking for this section over here, which we kind of infer from the rest of it. We have this middle section, and then we have this part that we can infer based on the 0 and the asymptote.